All right, what's up, everyone? Today we're just going to go over this is going to be a quick video. I found something that could be a little clue or a tidbit as to one of the participants of Super Bowl 60, which is coming up now in less than, I think, are we 60 days away from Super Bowl 60? I think we are. Yeah, because it's 31 days until January 10th and another 31 until February 10th, so that's 62. Minus 2, that's 60. All right, yeah, 60 days until Super Bowl 60. So how about that? Okay. To get before that, we have to get some background. The last time the Buffalo Bills made the Super Bowl was Super Bowl, was this 28? Yeah, Super Bowl 28. They played the Cowboys. I've talked about this Super Bowl before because uh, this was a very Jesuit and Catholic Super Bowl. It was on January 30th, 1994. 1 plus 30 is 31, plus 19, that's 50, plus 94 gets you 144. All right, 144. Where's our 144 here? 144 in Jesuit order, 144. And what's the other date numerology? 1 plus 30 plus 94. What does that get you? 31 plus 94. Oh, maybe I didn't do the math right. 1 plus 30. Oh, yeah, no, I did. Wait, shoot. I can't remember now. Hold on, I have to go into here. Let's just do it here. 130, 1994. Oh, my bad. It was if you add those ones together. But this one's also interesting too, the 27, because this previous Super Bowl was Super Bowl 27. Okay, we'll put these dates back up because we will get to them later. But yeah, 144-54 date numerology, Jesuit order 144, 43 combined points in that game. Society of Jesus is 191, which is the 43rd prime. Jimmy Johnson, who was the winning coach for the Cowboys, he became, if we go down to his playoff record here, you'll see by winning that Super Bowl, he became 7-1 in the playoffs. All right. Now, the coach of the Bills in that time was Marv Levy, who's 100 years old and apparently still alive. Now, I unfortunately, I hope we do not hear about his obituary in the next 2 months. I really hope we don't. But he is 100 years old, and he's somehow still alive. He was born on 8/3. From his birthday until the Super Bowl is exactly 27 weeks later. It's exactly 27 weeks. And I've talked about how this Super Bowl was a huge JFK ritual because I've talked about this before, but we'll just go over this again. Kennedy curse 144-54, just like Jesuit order. That was the date numerology of that game. Again, the Kennedys were Catholics. Catholic 71. Oh no, sorry. What am I saying? Yeah, 71. How Jimmy Johnson became 7-1 in Super Bowls. And then they also played in the Super Bowl the year before. That was Super Bowl 27, and they won by 35 points when JFK was president. Number 35, 69 total points, like the Jesuit order is 69. What else was there? Oh yeah, and then of course JFK is 27. Okay, and of course that's interesting because JFK and McKinley were the last two presidents that were assassinated. JFK assassinated in Dallas, and McKinley assassinated in Buffalo. Okay, so we've talked about Marv Levy. This game is exactly 27 weeks after his 100th birthday. Let's actually check how many days before his next birthday. 251. Okay, that's interesting. 251, 25 and 1. So if we just type in 251. 251 is interesting because that is the 54th prime number. Again, JFK 54, Jesuit order 54. I believe, is it Buffalo? Maybe it's just Bills. Oops. Bills is 54. That's what it is. Yeah, Bills is 54. Okay. So we've got that under control. Now, this Super Bowl will be the first ever Super Bowl. Well, actually, okay, let's backtrack a little bit. So the last time the Bills made the Super Bowl was this one here, Super Bowl 28. That was 32 years ago. Again, look at that, 1994. January 30th, 1994. This upcoming Super Bowl, February 26th. Okay? So 32 years ago. Why is that interesting? Well, we've talked about this before. There's 32 sun rays on the Jesuit logo. What do we just do? 32 sun rays on Jesuit logo. And yeah, there we go. 32 sun rays on the Jesuit logo. You can count them up in your own time. And of course, the Super Bowl is being played in Santa Clara. And Santa Clara is home of the Jesuit Santa Clara University, which is on the campus of the Mission Santa Clara. Of course, I did a couple shorts from there earlier this year. I've talked about the significance of the fact that it was founded on January 12th in history, because where's my 112? Catholicism 112. Santa Clara Broncos, that Santa Clara athletics team, they're called the Broncos. They're also 112. And the first time that the Super Bowl was played at Levi's Stadium, let's just go here. So this is Super Bowl 60, but the last one was Super Bowl 50, which was the first Super Bowl held at Levi's Stadium. That was won by the Broncos with 34 total points. But again, Denver 32, Broncos 32, Santa Clara Broncos 112. And look at the overlap between, here, let's just find matches. Look at the overlap between Broncos and Jesuits. 32, 103. 103 is the 27th prime. And when you think of Bronco and 32, who do you think of? Do you think of this guy? Number 32. Number 32. Born in San Francisco, played for Buffalo, and then finished his career in San Francisco. And then what was his? And then he was, what happened? Yeah, he was seen driving around in a Ford Bronco. And that would have been, it would have been only a few months after the Super Bowl 28. Yeah, and a 93 Ford Bronco. Remember, the sun is 93 million miles away. And 93 is the 32nd semi-prime, as you see right there. Oh, was that on 613? Yeah, 613. 613 is the 112th prime number. Okay, go figure. Okay, well, anyways, enough about. And what's interesting too is that he died on the 101st day of the leap year. What's normally the 100th day of the year, and of course, this guy who somehow is still alive is 100 years old and about to be 101, and hopefully we don't hear about his death soon. But you never know. Okay. What have we got next? Yeah, just to show you more with Santa Clara University. Santa Clara University equals 135, just like for the greater glory of God. And if you can go here, it says Santa Clara University. That's the Jesuit motto right there. Their school's motto is the Jesuit motto. Okay, what else do we have here? Yeah, and Santa Clara CA is 94, or 94 is the 33rd semi-prime. 94 is the 33rd semi-prime. Remember, Jesus died at age 33. Again, Santa Clara, California equals 137, which is the 33rd prime. Yeah, so more. And Levi's Stadium is 46 as well, just like Catholic. And it's also 154, and 201 is 154 in base 8. Or is it base 8 or base? No, sorry, 201 is the 154th composite. My bad. 201 is the 154th composite, the Jesuit Order 201. We know all about that number. Yeah, I think the first ever regular season game was actually against Chicago. The first ever regular season game at Levi's Stadium, I'm pretty sure, was against Chicago. Yeah, Levi's Stadium. I think Colin Kaepernick choked away that game or something like that. 2014 49ers versus Bears. Let's see if... Yeah, if I remember this game, it was yeah. Interesting. Okay. All right. Now let's talk about Josh Allen. So right now he's 7-6 in the playoffs. Now, assuming the Bills are going to make the playoffs, to get to the Super Bowl, it would take them 4 games because they're probably not going to catch the Patriots or the Broncos for the 1 seed in the AFC. Which means if the Bills win the AFC Championship, assuming Josh Allen starts all those games, he will be 10-6 for his career in the playoffs. Again, this is the NFL's 106th season. And 106, I have to pull this up again. Shouldn't have closed it in the first place. I remember 106 is the 35th semi-prime. Where's, again, Catholic 35. And then if they lose that, he'll be 10-7 in the playoffs. Just like how 107 is the 28th prime, like that was the last Super Bowl that the Bills were in, when that was 32 years ago, and the OJ incident happened 32 years ago, and he wore number 32. Now I wonder what Marv Levy's playoff record became with that loss. Well, look at that. He had 112 wins in his 112 regular season wins with Buffalo. He had 112 total losses in the NFL. So he would have been 1-1, 1-2, 3-3, 5-4, 8-5. And look at that. Marv Levy became 10-6 by losing that last Super Bowl to the Cowboys in January of '94. That's very interesting. And now Josh Allen has a chance to get to 10-6 in the playoffs if they win their first three. If they win 3 playoff games, and I don't think the Bills are going to win this Super Bowl, but I do think they have a decent narrative to make it. I do think, and also another thing about Marv Levy that I just saw is, I mean, he went to Wyoming and Co. Did he actually go to Wyoming? Let's see. Oh, so he actually went to Wyoming, just like Josh Allen. But here, let's just pull up Josh Allen. Right, yeah. So he went to Wyoming as well. But what's very interesting about, we'll take a look at Josh Allen. Josh Allen. Well, so Josh Allen's 96, 7-6. He might get to 9-6 in the playoffs. Was it Joshua? Shoot, there's something. Was it just Josh Allen? Maybe, oh crap! This is gonna kill me if I don't remember. No, was it his full name? If I can type correctly. Maybe, yes, that's it. Okay, Joshua Patrick Allen, his full name is 110. And Buffalo Bill, remember, there's the real-life Buffalo Bill. So we have Josh Allen, who went to Wyoming, and then you have Buffalo Bill, who the Bills are named after. And he's from, I don't even know if he has, I think he does have a relationship with Western New York somehow. Yeah, I guess he did. Yeah, so he does have some relationship with Western New York, which is why they called him that. But yeah, anyways, Buffalo Bill, of course, he spent a lot of time in Wyoming. That's why his real name is William Cody. There's that city in Wyoming called Cody. Yeah, life in Cody, Wyoming. So yeah, Buffalo Bill made his name in Wyoming, and now, yeah, arguably the best ever Buffalo Bill went to Wyoming. There's just back. All right, so you see the connections there. But yeah, Buffalo Bill is 64, and his full name, Joshua Patrick Allen, is 110. But Super Bowl 110 will include the 64th NFL season. So I'm thinking that if If the Bills do win a Super Bowl in the near future, I think it will be Super Bowl 64, the 110th NFL season. We'll see. Yeah, Buffalo Bills got that 199, the 46th prime. So that very Catholic number there. I guess I should look at distance from Josh Allen, or from the Super Bowl to Josh. Yeah, look at that. 14 weeks and 4 days from the Super Bowl until Josh Allen's birthday. What about from his last birthday? 263, 56th prime. There you go. Where's our 56s at? What was the other one? It was, oh yeah, 14 weeks and 4 days. Like the last time the Bills made the Super Bowl, it was on 144 date numerology. And if I didn't mention it already, I may have forgotten to mention it because I've been going through a bunch of other stuff, but it is the Bills' 56th season in the NFL. So, let's look at the remaining schedule. What are they likely to finish? So they still need to play. What doesn't have their schedule here? I just search Bills. Give me their schedule. Usually, it doesn't do the thing where it pops up anymore. Okay, that's kind of sucks. All right, so they play New England, so they might lose that. But so they'll probably finish 3-1 in their ninth. So they'll probably finish 12-5, which means 13-5, 14-5, 15-5. Well, that would make sense if they finish the season 12-5, then if they win the first 2 games. So yeah, if they win the first 2 games of the playoffs or the regular season, if they finish the regular season 12-5, then they win the first 2 games of the playoffs. Josh Allen would get to 9-6 overall in the playoffs, and they'd get to 14-5 overall. Right, and another thing with 66, because it is the Bills 60. No, it's this one. It is the Bills 66th season. If you include their time spent in the AFL. All right, Buffalo, New York is 66. How long have I been going? 18 minutes? All right. Is there, how much longer? I don't need to go for that much longer. But we shall see. Again, this guy's, he's on a clock. I'll just say that. Oh, oh my God, I want to see, did Wade Phillips take over for Marv Levy? Marv Levy? Yeah, so, okay, this guy, Wade Phillips took over for Marv Levy. Yeah, this guy was a bum. I mean, his dad's name was Bum too. Yeah, this guy was a bum of a head coach. Okay, he won 1 playoff game with. I thought he lost all his playoff. He won 1 playoff game. They had to give him 1 playoff win just to make him not look like a total bum. Okay, yeah, and even his dad's name was Bum. So yeah, he's a certified bum. Okay, and I don't have anything about him. I was a little curious. Okay. Yeah, hopefully we don't hear about this guy's death soon. But I think the AFC, we might know who's going to be there, but it's still a little early. I don't know as much about the NFL as I do about like MLB and NHL, but yeah, I get shit wrong, but I'm just throwing it out there. We'll catch you guys later.